What's up? How's it going? Be Live here in my kitchen, and I'm gonna make an amazing exotic pleasure nori wrap for you. Actually, for my fiance Erica Oshun. But you can watch and you can make one yourself. So here we go. Check it out. I'm gonna first use a piece of raw nori. The same thing that they use for sushi in a sushi restaurant and in Japan. So but this is not toasted. Most nori out there is toasted. So make sure you look for untoasted or raw nori. So I'm going to use this as the wrap. If you don't have nori, you can actually use a cabbage leaf, or you can use a collard, or you can actually make some type of dehydrated wrap, a blend, fruits and vegetables or whatnot, spices, and create a dehydrated wrap material. But I'm going to make it easy. If you do use a collard, and if you use a cabbage leaf, add a little bit more of the ingredients that I'm going to show you that I'm adding into this nori. But this is going to be more like sushi. So, to start off, I am going to add a little bit of this coconut. This has been cultured with a proteolytic probiotic culture, and it's basically coconut almond yogurt. I actually started using the Lou Corona's proteolytic probiotic that he helped, as far as like the product, the company Natural Choice Products, he helped put the company together. So I used their probiotic blend to culturize this almond coconut yogurt. So you can actually Google Lou Corona and Dan the Life Regenerator, the Man McDonald. Google them together and you'll see a coconut yogurt recipe. You can also look through my history on my YouTube channel and find one as well. So I'm going to use this as the base, kind of like the pate. This is going to be partly what holds it together. So I'm going to put a moderate amount in it. Friendly probiotics. Now, this probiotic is proteolytic. Proteolytic is unique because it actually pre-digests the proteins, fats, and carbs. So it breaks down the proteins into aminos, the fats into fatty acids, and the carbs into glucose, giving us healthy hair, skin, and bones, and keeping us up and vibrant, and it just basically goes in and absorbs. So it's really amazing. All probiotics are good, amazing. We need friendly probiotics, but proteolytic probiotics are unique in the fact that they do pre-digest the nuts and seeds. So after that, now I'm going to take some of this organic red bell pepper, and I'm going to lay this in the nori wrap. I'm going to do about 2 layers. So I'm just going to I'm simply going to, well, actually not simply, because I do not suggest to do that at home. I've been doing it for about 13 years now, on and off, so this is a trick. You saw how I, woo! Oops, that's okay. This is for Oshun, not that one. That one I'll use for me. Actually, it landed on its back. So I pulled it apart, and then now I'm just sticking the knife or the cleaver into the pit, and I'm twisting it. Pulls the pit right out. So that's a really easy way to get the pit out of the avocado. Seems like my cameraman is getting a call. So, hello? Hello? Anyone there? So, I'm just going to take little scoops with my spoon of the avocado, and I'm going to place a moderate amount. I'm going to use about half of this quarter, actually a quarter of the entire avocado is what I'm going to put into this wrap. Now, when I'm making an exotic pleasure wrap or nori, sushi, any type of wrap, I like to add a little bit of salt into different layers. Like I'm adding a little bit onto the avocado. Avocado and tomatoes, in my opinion, are important to put a little bit of salt into it. And also this coconut yogurt isn't flavored. Sometimes I would take some herbs, mix them up with some spices and some salt and make a specific flavored pate or coconut almond yogurt. This time I just added a little extra salt and I'm using some orange. I'm going to squeeze some orange like on the bottom there and on the top of the avocados. So there's some orange essence, some orange juice in the wrap. Now I'm going to put some chipotle pepper. Now chipotles are not raw because they've actually taken the pepper and they've roasted them before they've grinded it. So every once in a while I use a non-raw ingredient in my raw recipe, like nutritional yeast, sometimes for a cheesy flavor. Although it's not always necessary. I have plenty versions of recipes where I don't use nutritional yeast, or where I don't use chipotle, where I use cayenne or some habaneros or other peppers instead. I do use, and I'm going to show you sometimes, I'll use maple syrup and agave sometimes. You know, sometimes I sacrifice the 100% raw recipe because I'm really trying to just turn people on to the fact that they can be eating healthier and they can just understand and get an idea about what the raw living foods is about. And in this day and age, let's face it, the public, the masses, they want to taste something that tastes good. I know that's kind of where I was coming from 12 years ago, when almost all of the raw foods out there tasted horrible. Like, there was very few people back then putting any flavoring into it. So now, gourmet raw chefs, such as myself, we're focusing on flavoring it so that people will have a really good introduction to it. Because most people these days, at least a large percentage of them, are not dying of cancer. They're not seriously dying of some toxicity, of some type of diabetes or whatnot. The people who are turning on to raw food these days, on the whole, are people who are hearing about it. Whether it's because it's cool or whether they just hear about it, whatever, for whatever reason. Most of them are, just to be quite honest, addicted to the SAD, the standard American diet. So they're addicted to food tasting overly salty, sweet, and spicy, and all that stuff. So we want to definitely give enough so that it brings out the flavors. We don't want to overdo it. Like, so I'm not into overdoing the spices and the herbs and the salts and the sweets, but to put just enough so it captures someone's attention. So now I'm gonna put this chipotle into here. Now I know that Oshun likes it like spicy, so I put a good amount. Be careful when you're working with spices, because if you do not like spicy and if you can't handle it, just put a little bit. If you like it a lot, if you like it hot, put a lot. Woohoo! You know, I'm a hot freak. I love my habaneros. I love juicing my lemon ginger blast, my green juice every morning with a bunch of habaneros, ginger, garlic, and then all the good stuff to follow. I like it hot. So now I'm going to add some kale. I took about 3 leaves of dino kale, and I'm adding the kale into there. And I'm going to put a little bit of, now this is a raw sweetener. My favorite sweetener is dates. There are so many different flavors, different varieties of dates. You can combine them to get different sweeteners. But I also like other sweeteners as well. For a syrup, I love Coconut Secret's coconut nectar. It's a raw coconut syrup. They also make a coconut crystals, like dried coconut crystals, sugar. Like more of like what you're used to as far as sugar. And unique in the fact that they are actually raw. So I'm going to use a little bit of this. Yeah, I don't have any dates right now. I would rather have dates. I'd rather put dates in there. I'm just going to put a little bit in it. It gives it an exotic flavor. Coconut syrup by Coconut Secret isn't the sweetest. So if you're looking to make a dessert or to have a really sweet flavor, then you might want to go for agave or maple syrup. Those aren't raw, but you know, sometimes it's a sacrifice for flavor. And especially, like I said, when we're turning on our family and our friends, you know, we all will find our way down our own individual intuitive highway. We'll read about all the books that we want. We'll go hear the raw educators and see the different raw chefs speak and demo, and we will gather information, and then we can definitely take it in, and we can like absorb it, and then we can apply it in whatever way that works best for us. Now, if we have degenerative diseases, if we have issues, then we gotta be really, really cautious about not taking the gourmet and not taking on too much sweets and salts, and we want to be really simple, and we want to take it in a whole foods as much as possible. Lots of green juicing. If it comes down to really having some serious issues you're working on, you want to like be laser about it. You want to find out really like what works best. Lots of digestive enzymes, therapeutically and with your food. Lots of probiotics, lots of green juice, lots. You know, you want to be really on your life, because it is your life. Now, for me, someone who hasn't been to the doctor in over 22 years, someone who turned on to raw foods 20 years ago, who will be 40 in less than 3 weeks, you know, like, it's about preventative. The reason why I eat organic, wild, and biodynamic foods, the reason why I eat 98 or 99% raw living foods is because I've found that it does work for me, and I truly believe in it, and it really makes me feel amazing, and it makes me like look amazing, and all of this good stuff. So that's why I'm doing it, vibrational wise. You know, what I'm putting in my body, what I'm putting in my mind, what I'm putting into my heart, you know, like it's like it works. And so I can be a testimony that it works. And I have seen time after time and met person after person that has healed themselves from basically everything I can imagine. I get blown away all the time. People have seen people who've gotten rid of their diabetes, their MS, their cancer, their HIV, and I mean, that's just the beginning. Allergies, asthma, everything you could possibly imagine. I trip out on it. It's amazing. Do some research. Go on YouTube. Go, you know, search on Facebook. Search into the raw meetup groups. Read the books. Check out Gabriel Cousins. Look what he's done with diabetes. Look what Luke Corona's done with like everything you can imagine. Look what Doug Graham. Look what all of these amazing people have done for people by just waking up their awareness and just by turning them on. Because all they're doing is they're like getting them familiar with what they already know, because we all have it deep down inside. We all have everything that we need. All that knowledge is internal. God has given it to us. We are just being reborn. We're being rehabilitated. We're remembering. So just know that like after you activate that in yourself, just trust and listen, because it is inside. And all of the information, all of the people that you possibly need to really make that transformation into your life are there. They are there. So let's wrap this up, and then we will be on our way. I think that the last thing that I was going to put on it is another unique product by Coconut Secret, which is a coconut amino similar to Namashoyo or Bragg's, except for it is not soy, which is amazing. This is from coconut. So what I'm going to do, since it has a soy sauce flavor, it's really good for sushi, is instead of water, I'm going to actually use it to roll this up with. I'm going to use it like as the sealant. As the sealant, so we can roll it on up. And then, because I know Erica Oshun Kelly, my lovely goddess, fiance, dear soulmate, really loves the Coconut Secret, what I'll do is I will add a little bit to each piece. So I'm going to do big pieces. Serrated knife, the knife with the edges, are the best and easiest way to cut sushi. Now this hasn't really dried, so we'll just do our best with as far as drying, it being dried. I'm going to do it into 4 pieces. If it had dried better, it would have cut better. But, you know, as you saw, it still worked. It still did okay. I'm going to squeeze a little bit more orange juice on this. This is going to be so good. It's so good. Grooving good. I'm going to wish that I had made one for myself. I guess I'm probably going to have to in a little bit here because I'm starting to get hungry. Just making this, I'm getting hungry. Awesome. Okay, so a simple, exotic pleasure wrap, aka Nori sushi. Like I said, if you're going to use a different type of wrap material, and you're just going to make a cup, you know, or you're going to use a collard, definitely use more of the ingredients because it's a bigger wrap material. So, that's it. Be live out. I love you so much. Hope I was informative. I'm going to try to do more videos for you. And I love you so much. Thank you. Mwah.